Hello and welcome back to Not Another Leeds podcast, because another Leeds United podcast, you can't go wrong. Today I am joined by the Italian stallion, Andrea Russo. Ciao, Andrea.
Ciao, Danny. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for coming on today.
No worries.
We've got loads to get through. I'm joined by one half of the Leeds House podcast in Big Kev. Say hello, Big Kev.
Hello.
That's a very big hello.
James is running late.
Yeah. James is running late today. Hopefully he'll be able to jump on. If not, I fear for his walls. He's, Right then, lads. It's been quite the boring week as a Leeds United fan, really. The internationals, not a big fan. But that's another story. I'm sure Lord Ash, if you're watching us, is a big, massive Southgate fan. So we'll talk about that later on anyway. But Kev, have you been watching much of the internationals?
Do you know what? We actually did a international special the other day, and I think it's our worst performing video that we've had out in a long time. So I don't think anyone cares about internationals, for being honest. And I think I'm going to think twice about doing that again. The only highlight of the week was really the Scotland game, wasn't it? And that was about it. It's just so boring, nothing going on.
It's always good to get one over for the northern neighbours, giving it the big one, weren't there, before? We're going to win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get loads of hate for that. That's going to get clipped, and I'm going to get absolute death threats through the email box.
No, Andrea, I've got split priorities. Oh, sorry, I've got split priorities. My mum's Scottish, and my dad's English. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a weird conundrum, but I mean, I don't mind them both doing well, but when it comes to against each other, I'll go England. I'll go England. Yeah.
Was it to seal the peace? Was it to make sure?
Could have been. Yeah. They haven't been living in peace anyway. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Andrea, how did Italy get on? How did our boy Nonto get on?
Yeah, I want to say before going deep into that, probably I'm the only one that likes international around. Honestly, because it's great seeing countries going one against the other. Like rivalries against England and Scotland. And I enjoy it because in Italy, we have many clubs and rivalries, and the only time there's no rivalries and people all agree is the national team. So it's a little bit more quieter than the rest of the year. But yeah, Gnonto, actually, in the game against Macedonia, he had a brief cameo, but he was lagged on the internet because he lost two possessions in a crucial moment. But honestly, if you compare him to Zaccagni and Zaniolo, the other two wingers that played during the game, I think he was the better one. He was the only one trying to do the one-on-one. Of course, he failed sometimes, but he wasn't that bad like they pictured him. Against Ukraine, we won. We needed to win because we were with our back against the wall. If we lost or draw in Milan, we were basically out of the two top spots for qualification. So we were heading towards the playoffs because of the Nations League, and it was set to be another failure after the other two missed World Cups. But Gnonto, yeah, he was the worst performing player for Italy. But it's all experience in the back for him. He's still 19, and yeah, honestly, it's difficult for him because, like I said before, I thought he was going to leave. Then the manager changed because this manager picks the player based on form, not looking at the level of the league. And honestly, it's like the scapegoat now in Italy. Every time we play bad or it doesn't perform, people just go into him, and it's sad to see because in the end, it's a player with skills we're missing in the national team. And every time he has a bad game, there's people constantly slagging him off, insulting him. It's not looking bad because he's playing in the second tier. They say, why does a second tier player gets picked? And also, like I said on Joe's channel the other night, there's also some fake accounts on Twitter racially abusing him, and it's unfortunate, that thing. But yeah, it's all experience. I think he even performed for us, and after what happened before the end of the window, I think he has a lot of ground to make up. He has started well. I think he will get picked again by the national team, but there's a lot of competition right now in those positions, so he needs a stunning season right now, stunning with us. Yeah.
I've got to echo Andrea there. Sorry, I keep doing this to you, Danny, don't I? I mean, I just said it's been a bit of a boring week for the Leeds United content. I agree with Andrea. I like international football. I really, really do. I think it's great. And it's just quiet for being a Leeds content creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
My partner, she's never been to Wembley, and I'm taking her to England versus Italy in November. Is it November?
Oh. Yeah, in November.
Taking her to her first ever England international is going to be the qualifier for against Italy. So yeah, hopefully that goes all right. But it's just boring during the international break because there's nothing for us to do as on the Leeds content, is there? And we're all just sat around going like that, twiddling our thumbs, hoping something will happen, and it doesn't really do. Nothing happens, and then you get like a nice press conference on a Friday with half the team out injured. So yeah, that's exactly what it is like being a Leeds fan, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only interesting thing was we reverted to watching like Kazakhstan versus Finland or Bulgaria against Iran.
I was watching
no
Viaplay
offense to those
Sports.
countries, really, but there's better games out there, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather watch Finland, Kazakhstan, or wherever it was. Sorry, I'd rather watch two rats fight behind the KFC bins. That's more entertaining than that sort of football. I mean, no disrespect to them two countries. You know, I'm not a footballer at all, but it's just dreadful sometimes. But anyway, that's era there. So, going back to what you said, Andrea, about the racially abusing him, that's abhorrent and shouldn't be done. I mean, I translated the tweet and it was just stupid, absolutely stupid. And it really struck a nerve
all
with
fake
me.
accounts, all fake accounts. If you see that, these are all bots.
That's the dark side of Twitter. Everyone's got a mask, haven't they? And they can hide easily. But not to just put a full stop on that, but it's good, like you say. Nonto is 19, and he will learn his trade. And I think he's done a good thing in stopping at Leeds to develop more. Even if he does go at end of the season or in January, he's got that more experience. Moving on just swiftly onto the new lads. You know, we'll go on to Ampadu and Road on it well soon, but Kamara and Gruev. I mean, I was watching Joe stream, and Gruev didn't have the best time at left back, did he, Kev?
I think he played centre half, didn't he, or something like that? Is that correct? Yeah, I've seen the highlight of his mistake against, is it Iran, I believe?
Yeah, Iran, the friendly.
Oh, Juan Martinez is here as well. Excellent.
Yeah.
So it was the Iran, and obviously he got caught out of position, and his header wasn't the best. But I mean, he's a defensive midfielder. You're not expected to be in that position, making that header right at the back on the last man, are you? So I'll cut him some slack there, because I've quietly been doing a little bit of research on Gruev, and I'm quite impressed with his underlying numbers of the tackles and the layoffs. He's quite big as well, and we don't win many headers in the middle of the park. So maybe this guy could be a bit of a blessing, really. I hope.
Was he 6'2", 6'1"?
6'1", I believe. Not that I've been looking, but yes, it's 6'1".
That's
and in the end, it's not his main fault, you know, and because Bulgaria, of course, they don't have, you know, people growing up. When I was a kid, there was Berbatov, Petrov, and
Stoichkov.
Yeah, in the 90s, Stoichkov, Kostadinov, Lechkov.
Yes.
Now they don't have those players. They're not performing. They're one of the worst team right now in European qualifiers, honestly. But also playing, like I've said, playing as a centre back. You know, he's not a centre back, and it was basically revealed in the friend against Iran when he gifted the ball to the Iranian striker. You know, but he did better in the second game against Montenegro. They lost anyway, unfortunately. But yeah, it was better. I think he had 54 passes completed out of 64, 84% pass completion. So that's good. That's a good start, you know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think what have I got rid on here in my chicken scratch writing? He played the 90 minutes, didn't he? So he's got the fitness in there. But 80%, it's, you know, we've bought him as a defensive midfielder. Do you think he'll complement Ampadu, Andrea?
Yeah, they're two similar players in the end. I think Ampadu going forward has more ball carrying, especially at Spezia when he played as centre back too. He usually tried to get forward with the ball like David Luiz or, you know, Ben White. for example, they used to do, and Rodon right now. I think we'll play with 2 defensive midfielders, and especially listening to what Farke said today about players who can play in the 10. Of course, I'm not pro all those can play because it's a possibility. It's not a certainty. So it would have been ideal to have those players and at least one proper number advanced midfielder or proper 10 to play in that position if those experiments didn't work. But because of that, I think we have 2 defensive midfielders and one of the wingers or Piro adapting to that position in order to give us attacking flow, and 2 players staying back, Ampadu and Gruev, to be like the defensive wall, staying back and covering when the fullbacks go forward.
I think you might see Gruev sitting, for the way I've watching the way he's positioning, you could see Gruev sitting in for Pascal Strike as well when he goes forward, because he seems to do that quite a lot for Bremen. So when the advancing centre back would go, he'd sit in that hole and obviously protecting that position. So you can see Farke's done a lot of scouting with these guys to make sure they're the right fit for the, not just for the team, but for the players that he's going to be playing around as well. And he looks, I think he looks really, really good. I've never even heard of him until Leeds went for him. That's me being honest. But then once this happens, you do your research, don't you? And he looks, he's the one that got overshadowed when he come in, really, because of all the stuff that was happening around him. And he's come in with not much fanfare, and I think that's going to be good for him. So he doesn't come with all the pressure that all the other players come in, like Anthony, because of the Sinistera stuff. I think he's going to quietly get in there and do his job and go unnoticed to a degree, but still be quite positive and good fit for the team.
See, this is an interesting comment from Danny here. He says, I think Gruev will be the main DM and Ampadu will get a bit higher. Do you think it'll be the other way around? Or do you think Danny's got a point here?
No, he's got a point. I think it will be Ampadu will have more free roam, while Gruev, if you look at this also heat map, usually he moves in a specific area. Ampadu can move forward. Of course, they're not 2 pacey players, especially Gruev. Ampadu has more pace, especially usually because he was also used as a centre back. They have. I have the ring bell.
Okay,
come back.
It's all right.
Just wait a sec.
It's all right. It's all right.
That's fine, man.
I'll be back in a second.
No worries. Me and Danny can back on for a minute.
They have resolved it. Okay, great.
Okay.
They have the keys, okay.
So
great.
This week's sponsor, Ring. Do you have a ring? Get one. Moving on to Kamara. Obviously, he's come in. Obviously, the mixed reviews from Rangers fans saying that during the European campaign he did really well. Obviously, they've made quite a bit of profit. I think it was at 50-60k they got him for. And he's done well, but I think he played less than 30 minutes and he got an 80% pass accuracy. That's not too bad. I mean, did you watch anything of him, Kev?
I did. I watched it's like Andrea said, I had Viaplay Sports on in the background with some terrible football matches on, trying to just catch a bit of the Leeds players. It's the one again where they won 1-0. Who were they playing against?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yeah. He's come on
Yes,
and
Borat.
he's come on. Yeah, he's come on. He's come on. He's always in space. He's always seems to find a pocket of space. He's always there to receive the ball. And obviously, it weren't too much of a cameo for me to give like my best opinion of it, really. But he always seemed to be in space. He always seems to drift in between people, and he'd be able to receive a pass. And that's what I noticed. And well, we need that, especially when teams are going to be playing low blocks against us all year. It's all we're going to be doing. And except for maybe your Leicesters and your Southamptons, we're going to need someone that's going to be able to find space so they can receive the ball and lay it off again, so someone's running onto it. Because that's where we're quite strong, is in the quick attack. And we need someone that's going to be able to find space, get it, lay off quick straight away. And hopefully he can do that. But I haven't seen enough of Glenn Kamara. And like what you just said there, Danny, is there a lot of really good reviews and really crap reviews from Rangers fans. I did watch him when they went on that European run, and he was absolutely fantastic. But then, from what I've been told, is he wanted a move maybe last year, and he seems to have down tools, and that's what I've got so far. Maybe he's just waiting for a move, and then Farke's going to turn him back into the player that he once was. only time will tell, really. I think out of these two, I'm more excited about Gruev because numbers-wise, he's played a lot more football recently too. So he's probably going to be the one that gets straight into the team faster than Kamara.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, from what I've seen of Kamara in a Rangers shirt, is that he's got very silky feet and he can, like Cruyff and turn straight away really, really well. Andrea, would you have put him as a target for Leeds United? I know we've been linked for him for a while, but does he fit the mould?
Kamara, honestly, he's a good squad player for me. I would have gone for other players like Matt O'Reilly. I know we tried to get him, but Celtic said no because he was in the final stage of the window, and I understand them because he's one of their best players, and you can't lose one of the best players unless you have a substitute, an alternative. Of course, they got another player in the final stages, I think from Benfica, but he's a different type of player. So losing O'Reilly would have meant for them losing physicality and also a player who can be a very good advanced midfielders. It's similar to Billing in certain like body type. But Kamara, is a good one.
Yeah, I thought it would be a hard deal for Celtic to sell because they lost Jota and Haksabanovic in this transfer window, and then losing him as well would have been like the fans would have been a bit crazy after considering the players that they've already lost. So when O'Reilly was linked, I wanted it to happen, but it was a real long shot after considering the players that they've lost and not really replaced. So I didn't have a lot of faith in that one, to be honest.
Yeah, I already would have gone through, but returning to Kamara, I think he's a good squad player, like you said. I watched him too in the Europa League run. It was very good on European nights. Also very, very lively on the pitch, covering very various areas. But I don't know. I think it's up to his mentality in the end, because if he's on a high confidence and it's performing well, I think he'll gain confidence and trust, and he'll play better week after week. Sometimes at Rangers in the Scottish Premiership, he had the tendency to switch off sometimes and to be a little bit lazy on the pitch, and that's not what we need. But I think you start as a squad player, then maybe in certain games you can play. I think it's more similar to Gray, of course, compared to Ampadu and Gruev. We had two similar type of player. So I think we'll play with Ampadu and Gruev, and Kamara and Gray will bring the difference, a different type of
the dynamism.
Midfield.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But first of all, I think he needs to regain his fitness, because he wasn't involved in pre-season at Rangers, so it's also a fitness issue for right now. That's why I think they introduced him in the second half in Astana.
Yeah, I think this week, these internationals, to just get his fitness up would be good. I would have preferred him to stay and and try and get his team cohesion, but it is what it is. He's an international, isn't he? So, obviously, moving on to our Welsh brethren, Rodon and Ampadu. And did Dan James go?
No,
he didn't. No, he's injured, didn't he?
I stayed for him at all patch.
By all accounts, he played really well. I think Joe Rodon got 90 minutes, and Ampadu got took off at half time, didn't he? In one of the games. But once Ampadu got took off, did you breathe a sigh of relief, Kev?
Well, I think that was the first game against, was it South Korea, weren't it? He got took off. Yeah, and then he played. Who did they play? Was it Cyprus?
Oh, Latvia.
There you go. I don't even know countries' names. I think Ampadu played a lot of that match. He looked really, really good. In the first few minutes of the games, he's played an absolute worldie pass over to Brennan Johnson, and he should have scored within the first few minutes. I think Ampadu was good. He's a great signing, but since he started playing every game for us, he's just got better and better, and he's been playing really well for Wales. Same as Joe Rodon. We've switched from America to Wales, and these guys are doing the business. Honestly, I've got no complaints about them too. They are solid signings, especially for this level. I mean, they'd probably be good in the Premiership, but for this level, them two players are like top Championship players. And I don't know how we got them, but we have. It's the same with Jed Spence. How have we got him? We've got those three players, and I mean, even Jadon Anthony now as well. He's a great player for this level. guess Daniel Farke's
Also-
just a bit of a genius, really, isn't he, by getting these guys through the door?
Yeah, and about the Latvia game, if you look at the heat map and the stats of Ampadu throughout the game, 84% like Grujev, but accurate passes, 36 out of 43. That's very good start. 7 long balls too, and we've seen him do that also in our shirt, And yeah, really 7.6 on SofaScore, for example. I'm looking at some of the ratings there that put there, But yeah, what interested me were the stats, and yeah, these are good stats, And also Rodon was good, 7.5 against Latvia, 4 out of 40 out of 48 attempted passes correct. So we also seen Ampadu, Rodon, as a centre back, is very good with his feet. He's also good in carrying the ball and finding spaces where we blocked. He carries the ball and goes through the central pressing, eluding passing the ball to, and also creating the space for Ampadu or the midfielders to get open. Because of course, if he eludes the pressing between the two strikers, of course he drags one of the midfielders with him, and they leaves the space for our midfielders to start the build up. Yeah, I think Rodon. I was the one constantly saying get Ampadu and Rodon before they were acquired, because I really thought they were brilliant for the system, and I'm really glad we got them, because these are 2 Premier League signings for me, like Spence too. Like Kev said, it's brilliant to see those players signing for Leeds, and I'm really surprised no other clubs. I know Rodon had an offer from another Premier League club, but he said no days before he was waiting for a European offer that never came. And it's great to have those players in Leeds, because I think that, of course, we started later, I think, the season, because we had those loan clauses problems. We brought in players late because those clauses had to expire. So I don't think, and the results show that we have still seen the real flow and the real value of the team. I think, of course, it's unfortunate we have all those injuries now, but I think it's gonna be a work in the making, a team in the making now. And once we glue those players together with this system, I think we'll hit the ground running, really, for me.
Yeah, I totally agree as well.
Yeah,
just takes time.
I do as well, mate. It does, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you think this time last year, Burnley were in the exact same situation. They were 15th and having drawn a few games, and look, they went on to romp the league, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
I hope so, mate. You can sometimes say stuff with confidence, but when you put the word Leeds in the sentence, it doesn't always come out like that. So
no. It goes out into the universe, and there's a group of witches over a cauldron just doing the curse of Leeds United. But
the goblet of fire.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just curious, actually, Andrea. I know you spoke about it on other shows and stuff like that, but I want to get it on here right now. How would you rate the transfer window?
Well, honestly, I think I said 7 on Josh's show. I don't remember, but yeah, I think it was 7 or 8. Yeah, I think I said 7. Yeah, I think it was between 7 and 8. Probably 8 if we had a better replacement for Sinisterra and a number 10. But it's been a brilliant window. I know, but probably in England 7 is not high, but when I did the ratings for the paper here in Italy, it's a different system. 6 is like sufficient, and we have also the 0.5s. So 6.5 is like he played very good. He played good, very good. And 7 is like he was outstanding. So it's a different system. I think the window was very, very good. So it's a 7. Especially because it would have been higher, but yeah, losing Sinisterra, our best player, wasn't ideal on the final day of the window. The only thing we could do was get in a player as a swap deal, because Painsil, for example, there wasn't the time to bring him in, also for other players. But in that specific situation with the transfer window shooting in minutes, and our club official probably sweating because we need to bring in a replacement, losing our best players. They got Anthony, a good player for the championship. The only thing you can do in that situation, because there's no time to line up a replacement. I think in the end we covered all the areas apart from the left back and the number 10. So we brought in Spence, Ampadu, Rodon, Pyro, the Piro, and I cannot name that name. I'm sorry. Sometimes I say Pyro.
It's fine, neither can we.
So in the end, I think it was a very good win for us. It would have been an 8 or a 9 if we got the number 10 and the left back, because you've seen it now. We have Byron coming back in training, but we have Firpo injured again with another injury, a different one, 8-1, and really there's the problem of that position, because we have Yalda and Shackleton playing there as an adaptive player. It's the only position open for me right now.
Yeah,
it's the only position we've been trying to fill for years.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still not doing it. Yeah,
the last left back we got on the window probably before Firpo was Barry Douglas, and he was also injury ravaged. Great lad, great player. He's still connected with Leeds, but it was also injury ravaged, unfortunately.
I remember being so buzzing about getting Barry Douglas. I was wow, he got did he get the top assists in the league the year before?
And all the Wolves fans were saying, "Why have we sold him? Why have we sold him?
Yeah.
He's amazing at free kicks, corners, everything." And then Bielsa run him into the ground.
I remember all the time. I remember the time I was wondering why he doesn't get picked by Scotland. Then I realized, okay, Andy Robertson and Kieran Tierney. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the Lawrence de Bock, as Danny says in the comments. Wow. I mean,
Lawrence de Bock. I forgot about him. Bloody hell.
There's a reason why
we've all... Where is he now? Let's see.
He's somewhere in the Netherlands.
Promitos, he's in Greece.
Wow. He's getting a suntan then. There's a reason why we've mentally blocked Lawrence de Bock out, because he was atrocious. Honestly,
we paid quite a bit of money for him as well. From where we were at the time, I swear.
No, but he was rated at
1.5.
He was rated at the time. He was also a Belgian international for a few games. Yeah. I have a friend. I had a friend in high school. Who, I don't know why, he supported Club Brugge. We call him the president because he was a colorful character. He always went to school with his tie. With a uniform. We don't get uniforms in Italy. He will always get into school with a tie, a suit, So we called him the president. And he supported Club Brugge. We don't know why, but at the time I remember him also praising. I used to ask him, but who are your best players? Because of course I supported Leeds, so we were like the two only guys supporting foreign clubs. And he said, we have this left back, Lawrence de Bock, he's really rated, etc. And years later, the Bock signed for it. Said, "Oh, that's a player. I remember him." Then he was terrible for us.
It was honestly like Edler's chicken, wasn't it? It was terrible, absolutely terrible. But anyway, moving on to the press conference then. It's come out the team news. So Bamford's out for about 3 games. He's with Firpo, chilling in the Bam Firpo Medical Centre. Firpo's got a hip injury. It's
because he's always out salsa dancing, isn't he? And he's always hurting himself. It's like that all times, just wiggling around with his mustache.
He's too busy twerking on TikTok to some trends.
I saw the GIF on Danny's.
It was Denzel.
For those listeners who can't who are listening on Spotify, if you go onto my Twitter, Not Another Leeds Podcast on Twitter, and I've done a few gifs on there. It looks like a guy like Firpo, and he's like twerking and stuff to trends. And follow us, we're a great laugh.
Yes.
But Cooper, Byron, and James are in training, and Dallas is making good progress. I mean, let's just talk about Dallas right quick, because he's been out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it his femur? He broke his femur, didn't he, on that tackle against Grealish? Do you think, Kev, come to you first, mate?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we will see Stewie Dallas play for us this season or again?
I think we'll see him play for us again. I think it's not in his character to quit. I really like Stuart Dallas. I think he'd be a good, solid player if he comes back to at least 80% of what he was for us when we were in the Premiership and then in Bielsa's time. Will he play for us again this season? I hope so. I'm just going to hope so. I really am. I mean, everyone's saying that he's doing really well. And, I mean, it's 3 months till Christmas. Could we see him after Christmas? Maybe. My fingers are crossed on that. I'd like to see Stuart Dallas play this year because, to be fair to me, he can play left back. You know,
He's the Cookstown utility man, not Cafu. Not Cafu.
Leeds born Stuart Dallas. Leeds born Stuart Dallas. Every time on TV, Leeds born.
Exactly.
I hope he returns, honestly. Yeah, I hope he returns because he's massive for us. He's I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say actually, honestly, for his contribution is the way he handles himself as a professional. Is like the place of the 70s for me, honestly, and the way he developed. Because if you remember when we signed him from Brentford in 2015, he used to play higher on the pitch. Then he was in the team, out of the team. He was a sub. He wasn't a regular at the beginning, and he really had his great year, and he was like a squad player. Then he had his breakthrough season. He really developed under Bielsa, and from then on, he was monumental because he always put his body on the line for Leeds, and he's monumental as a player for me. I really admire him as a person too, honestly.
I've got a dream about Stuart Dallas, right? And this is what I hope, because his contract runs out at the end of next season, doesn't it? Okay, so he comes back. We're starting to hit the normal Leeds patch after Christmas, right? Where we're struggling, and then Stuart Dallas comes back and plays his way into the team, and he fires us back to the Premiership. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Bookmark this, right? Bookmark this. Stuart Dallas comes back, saves us, and then gets us up next year by coming back for the last few minutes of the season, and then absolutely smashes it for us. Plays anywhere. I mean, I think he played best for us under Marcelo was centre midfield, though, weren't it? I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talking about comebacks, who's this stranger?
You got some sound, James?
Oh.
Do you want to sort your sound out?
They have adjusted sound.
Nope.
Right. Anyway, we'll let James.
We'll just carry on without him. Yeah.
We'll just let James sort his sound out for a sec. So do you think obviously Cooper coming back with Byram and James? That's obviously a bit of a positive. Does Cooper jump straight back in next to Rodon, or do you keep Struijk, Andrea?
No, not at all.
Oh no, I keep Struijk and Rodon, honestly, because I think they're playing well. I think the goal we conceded recently were mainly at fault. The players mainly at fault were the fullbacks, especially at Ipswich. I think it's the partnership gaining experience now and getting to know each other. So I'll stay with Struijk and Rodon, honestly. Of course, Cooper can come in handy, and honestly, he can be the first option from the bench, I think, along with Cresswell, Coops. But I think we'll see him again in the team. But right now, I stay with Struijk and Rodon, because I think for this type of football we're playing, I think the two best suited players in the centre back position. Yeah.
I don't think he'll change them for a long time now. I think Rodon and Struijk are going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I think it'd be silly, wanted to change a good partnership. James.
Hi, James.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Nice top.
Oh God. I know. Yeah. Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
How's everyone? Sorry, I'm late. We're very late, but
Good.
Traffic and shit. But...
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. We're just
You've missed loads as well, though, haven't you?
Yeah. You've missed your favourite bit, which is the internationals. I know that you're riveting about them on your podcast the other day, weren't you?
I'm so happy that they're finished. Can't stand them.
So just obviously, James, are you Bamford and Firpo injured again.
Really? Whoa.
I'm just a messenger, mate. Don't shoot me.
You joking me? Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah.
What do you
carry
think?
on, mate.
What do you think? Will you miss them, or do you think?
We've not had them.
Terribly, mate. Terribly miss them. I just can't wait for them to come back. I just can't wait for Firpo and Bamford to come back because I miss them terribly.
Like Firpo misses
Sarcasm there.
ligaments in his knees. Oh no, it's his hip now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New injury.
Yeah.
He got injury while he was injured. He's injured.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's them TikTok trends. He needs to stop doing them.
Yes.
So obviously, just a bit of a segue. The I think Misfits fighting? They've got a new card up, and it's Radrazani versus Cellino.
Yeah, after Tommy Fury
yeah.
KSI, they have this fight lined up. Yeah.
So we was
Drugs
on
versus alcohol.
So me and Kev and Joe were on the stream, and Kev broke the news that Radrazani
had a bit of wine,
had a bit of the rosé, and he would, talking to Lord Leeds, and it's come out this week as well that Cellino's saying that he's owed money by Radrazani. So, I mean, Andrea, you know more about it. Can you tell us a bit more about the situation?
Yeah, sure. And basically yesterday on Gazzetta dello Sport, which is the main Italian newspaper in terms of sport, everyone reads it in the morning. And there was this interview about Cellino saying that basically Radrizzani has used Ellen Road as a collateral, but today it was said on Il Secolo Decimonono, which is the main newspaper based in Genoa, where Sampdoria, of course, play. Said that is not true, what Cellino said. But Cellino basically was accusing Radrizzani of using Ellen Road as a collateral in order to acquire Sampdoria. But at the same time, he said that Radrizzani still owes him some money in debt because basically Radrizzani acquired Ellen Road in 2017. So months after Cellino left, he borrowed money from Cellino, a 9.6 million loan of pounds, and every year he has to till 2026 he has to basically repay the debt with 1 million per year. And Cellino was fuming because basically his team Brescia were relegated last season from Serie B after the relegation playoff, and because Regina, that team from Calabria, didn't register and they melted. They failed. They went bankrupt basically. They readmitted Brescia in Serie B, so Cellino was really lucky to get readmitted into the second tier. And now he needs the money to run the club basically. So he's saying, I need the money for my Brescia, I need the money for my transfers. So he's basically saying, I want to sue Radrizzani with my lawyers because he owes me money. Why did he acquire another club? How could he acquire another club while owing debt for me? Debt to me. And basically, also he said that he wants to foreclose the shares of Sampdoria, the shares held by Radrizzani. But today he wake up probably with a surprise because, as the reports in Genoa, the shares are not in Radrizzani's name, but in the name of one of his companies, so he cannot foreclose them. So he needs to make an injunction, a trial, probably try to foreclose other things of Radrizzani if he wants to have those monies back, because Ellen Road wasn't used as a collateral. Right now we know that Radrizzani also said that to Sky, so Cellino said something that was not true according to what Radrizzani says. Of course, it's the opinion of Cellino against what Cellino said against what Radrizzani said. Of course, we need to choose between one of them, and it's really unfortunate because it's really difficult to choose between one or the other. Of course, in terms of personality, of course, under Radrizzani we returned to the Premier League, and we should remember that. But after that, it was all bad, especially after Bielsa left. So this is there's this box office fight right now between him and between these two Italian former Leeds owners, And as an Italian Leeds fan, it's really unfortunate because everyone associates Leeds with these two Italians that are not Illinois. And I saw also Danny the photo of Drake saying no to Cellino and Radizzani and indicating me like his favorite Italian. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
No, it's
hopefully I think another version of Italy to Leeds fans, not that version, you know.
It's two sides of the coin, two sides of the Italian coin. You get the weirdos like Cellino and Radizzani, and then you got the nice, beautiful angels themselves like you, Andrea. James.
Yes, mate.
This goes to Misfits Fighting Productions, or whatever it's called. You're the referee. How many rounds does it go? Who's going to win, Rads or Cellino?
I think Cellino kicks the shit out of him, to be honest with you, mate. Cellino absolutely murders Radizzani, yeah, definitely. He's a cocaine addict, mate. He's taking that. Radizzani is going to be pissed. He's going there, he's kicking his head in. He's probably battering him with some corn.
In the end, the best version I think will be not a boxing match, but a WWE match, a called one, because Cellino can use his guitar.
Yes.
In that match, remember that
egg and spoon race.
Like how is it called? Jeff Hardy.
Hardy.
No, not Jeff Hardy. Another one. The one with the guitar.
Bruce the Barber Beefcake.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you meant Bruce the Barber Beefcake.
The honky tonk man.
They should have a Hell in a Cell at Ellen Road and call it L in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, that'd be pretty good.
Would that work? Just anybody watching, any promoting recruiters out there, just drop me a DM.
Eddie Hearn watches this all the time, mate. You're fine, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it just takes me saying, can't wait for the stream tonight, mate. That's what I do think. I think if you hold back the Colombian powder for Cellino, it'd be feral.
Yeah,
I think he'll come at him like a spider monkey.
God.
In the words of like a spider monkey.
Angus Kinnear as a special referee.
Oh yeah, he's definitely special.
Oh, what a shout, Andrea! What a shout! That's brilliant. Honestly, Angus Kinnear, he'd be shaking in the corner. You know what I mean? He'd be like, anyway.
Tory
get
twat.
Ken Bates in there as well. Get Ken Bates in there as well. He can take a kick in.
Yeah,
he won't survive the flight over. Never mind. Where is he? Still in America somewhere, being a sheriff.
Don't know where he is, mate.
You know, when we had Bates, he used to remind me of a Winnie the Pooh character. You know, how's his name?
Eel.
No, the owl. You know,
the owl.
Yeah.
It's funny that because the characters of Winnie the Pooh represent different drugs or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Ken Bates represents sorrow.
Depression.
Cellino will sniff them all then.
Yeah, he will, yeah.
Yeah, we had some bad owners in the past,
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Anyway,
yeah.
Onwards and upwards with a fight. Let's go, Niners.
I think James has crashed. Oh, there he is.
There it is back.
I'm still here.
It's still there. So moving on to we're playing on Sunday against the Millwall Lions. James, I'll come to you first. I mean, I suppose I'll just come out and say it. How many goals are we going to beat them by? What's your mystical Meg prediction?
We make hard work about Millwall almost every time we play them. So I don't think. I think we could. I think we're much better than them, but I think it will probably be like a 3-2 or something like that.
And they score first.
Yeah, why not?
We score all 5, 2 own goals, and we score an hat-trick.
Yes, I think we will score another own goal.
Good.
Well, Rodon's on fire in it at the minute, so
yeah. 2
And Andrea, what's your overall thoughts against Millwall? Do you think Farker will have a good go at them, or do you think that the Millwall Lions will throw coins at us?
Honestly, I hope Farker will get that right, but it's always a not very welcoming place to go, you know. South Bermondsey, also then. So it will be a very difficult game because we'll have a welcome committee waiting for us probably there. So yeah, it will be difficult, especially apart from the atmosphere, which sometimes is exaggerated. Probably it's not like it used to be, but it's a difficult place to go and play because they're very in your face. They have an in your face mentality, and the Gary Rowett team has that same mentality as the fans. It's also difficult team to play against. Of course, they are a bit up and down in terms of results right now, but I think they have invested well. They brought in Joe Bryan, brought Norton Coffey, and they've held some good players like Tian Fleming, Bradshaw. Players that are very good for the championship for me. Honestly, I think it'll be a draw. I think it will be a nervy game with a lot of tension. I appreciated the fact that they made the video, the two clubs yesterday, because I don't want to hear chants about Istanbul again. There's also a video on YouTube from years ago, if you remember that. There's a Millwall fan, I won't call him a fan, someone in the Millwall end, with the Turkish flag too. So it's really good that, idiot. Especially with what happened and how close we care about what happened in Istanbul. They don't chant that, and also on our side, it's not reciprocated. What happens in terms of strategy chanting. So I think it will be a draw. Very nervy and tense game. So 1-1 for me.
1-1 to us. Yeah, I'll take that. Who's your scorer? Who's your scorer? And who's the scorer of the own goal that we're going to concede?
I'm just going to say our scorer. Honestly, you know what? Ampadu.
Go on, lads.
I don't think he's had a shot on target all season, though, has he?
Yeah,
depends. Because he's
one shot Welsh, and one goal.
Yeah.
Because he's Welsh, he keeps going for the conversions over the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think sometimes he's.
Yeah. No. Sorry. You know what? I was talking with Lockie yesterday. They were talking about Shackleton, and I said to him, "There's some people, saying that he's not been good. I think he's been one of the best consistent players so far, and if these comments continue about Shackleton, because I think they're unfair. I think right now, trust me, he's gonna score at Millwall. So yeah, I said to him, Shackleton, I have to say Shackleton again. If I hope
you're right.
Yeah. Baby so Shackleton, also former player, the revenge of the former player. Return of his whole hunting ground. Yeah.
Do you remember when me and James went to Burton for the friendly in pre-season, didn't we? And I said that the old lady sat in front of me, and I said to you, didn't I? Goes, if Shackleton scores, I'll wear a dress to work tomorrow. And she just turned around, didn't she? And went, oh, well, you're going to have, because he ran through and nearly scored, didn't he? Little shit bag.
Yeah, she wouldn't stop talking to us then, would she?
Yeah, well, she's Leeds and we're Leeds, so yeah. But no, I agree with Andrea. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I really do. I think this like fanfare with Millwall, I think it's a bit out of context. I think it's more of the fans' rivalry more than it is the actual football teams themselves. And I think it's been taken out of context a little bit more. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, 1-1 draw tomorrow. But I think Joel Pirro is going to score.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a 3-2. I want to go 3-2 Leeds win, and I'm going to go
copycat.
Elliot to score.
Elliot, yeah. Farker at the back post.
He was a striker,
Yeah. I think Rutter, Pirro, and someone left field. I think Anthony will come on and get one. Maybe it's just hopeful wishful
non-toe
thinking.
back on Sunday. I think.
Do you think? Like you, I think you said it before, James. Where I hate when we play on telly because I feel like there's extra pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's just it wrecks my head. So
and it's a long day of being sad as well, though, isn't it? If we lose on a 12 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday, it's a long day of being sad.
Yeah.
Lots of walls to punch, isn't there? So many walls, yeah.
I'm still surprised that James's house is standing. There can't be that many left.
It's not, mate. This is a curtain on its own. The house is completely demolished in front.
Are you outside?
Yeah,
outside next to the bins.
My nipples are bullets.
Like running studs, are they?
Yeah.
We mentioned Shaq there. I mean, there's talk of a contract renewal. Would you would you give him another year or two?
I'd probably give him another year. That's because sentiment, obviously, as well. I do think he's had a good start to the season. I think he's played really, really well, but we have to look at this in as a long-term project. If we go up, is Shackleton going to play next year? I don't think so. And I've got to stop getting sentimental about the players. Look how upset I got when Lewis Sinistera left the other day, and I don't want to be going through that anymore. So I'm not getting attached to any. Yeah, I'm not getting attached to any players. But yes, I'd give him another year as a squad player. I think he's had a great start. Do I think he's going to be like that for the whole season? No, I don't. I really don't.
He's put in some good performances lately. You know, he's been all right. He's not. You know, James, what's your thoughts on Shackleton?
I like him. I do. I like his work ethic. Like I said to Kev, he doesn't seem to make mistakes, even if he is like making easy passes back. He doesn't seem to like put himself under unnecessary pressure, and I like that about him. And he's quick, and he's doing a lot more of what he did when he was younger, like breaking into the box and being a bit more creative. Where under Bielsa, he was very much like pass, but he's doing a bit more for himself. So if he continues, he might bag a few goals. He scored a couple at the end of the last championship season, didn't he? When everyone was pissed against Derby.
Against Derby, yeah, against the Ramburger Botherers.
So I'm happy with him, mate. Happy.
Yeah, Andrea, do you echo the same thoughts? Or?
Yeah, absolutely, and he deserves that now. Looking at the way he plays, and another thing we should consider is that it's clear that Farke really likes him. He's like our current Stuart Dallas in the squad. He can play anywhere. He's a player you like to work with. You love to work with because he really adapts to every situation, never complains. Also, a local lad knows that he knew that this was a big chance because he's out of contract next summer and he played pre-season like he was a league game. So we earned a spot in the team, worked his way into the team. He was ready when Drama was subbed off at Ipswich. And yeah, I really like the lad. Congratulations also because he's soon to become a lad. Yeah. He posted that on Twitter the other day.
Kid's going to be bigger than him now. Baby's going to be big.
Yeah, but I'll honestly renew his contract. Yeah, and yeah, about the Premier League. Honestly, if we get back there, honestly, I think Farke will like to keep him around as a squad player. You know, and maybe he is at the stage where he's understood that the ultimate path for his career has been a squad player. Because at Millwall, of course, he was set to be a starter. I think he has more impact when he plays as a sub, honestly.
He's very fit, isn't he? He can run a lot. And you can't give out medals in football for running a lot, in my eyes. He's had a good start. And and I agree, he's played himself into that team. He was there when all these players were refusing to play or buggering off on loan, and he played himself into the team. He deserves to be there. But going forward over a whole season, I wish him all the best. But I mean, I'm not slagging him off. I think he's been one of our best players. But I just feel there's going to be at some point where we're going to have to get better than what he is in our team, even to get promoted this season. Yeah.
But just a squad player, I think he does the work, you know. He does the job, honestly.
Do you think he starts on Sunday?
Yeah.
He should do.
Oh.
He deserves to.
Yeah.
You always need players like Shackleton. That can play a number of positions and can actually do a job for you in them positions as well. So, yeah, mate. Should start.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, he's having good performances. I can't speak. Good performances. On and off the pitch. So we should, and you know, I was just about to say that Graham Smith or Smoff a lot, as you referred back to an old podcast. Even Phil A, I've been saying that he's always impressed in pre-season with his energy level. So on that note, congratulations, Jamie Shackleton, on becoming a dad.
Well, he's always watching this podcast as well, isn't he?
He just texted me now, actually. He just texted me now saying, "Cheers, lads." Mott. So,
is it off one of those kids' phones where you go boop, 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 boop.
With the giant buttons.
Yeah, with the giant buttons. Oh, we've got to go red. Sorry, but nah. Well done, mate.
From the hit the target on the pitch this time.
Yeah.
So and then just to round up this bit, there's the Football Insider, pinch of salt, is saying that we're talking to Nonto about a new contract. Do you think he'd be willing to sign a new contract, James?
For more money? Yeah. Probably.
It's on 20k a week already.
It'll be half that, won't it?
It doesn't guarantee he'll stay, but yeah, he probably will for the sake of a bit more dough and a bit more security.
Until January, yeah, just a bit more cash until January, yeah.
Yeah, there might be a clause written in it though.
Yeah.
Andrea, can you see that as a possibility? I mean, obviously, it's Football Insider, so we have to be.
Exactly what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say.
Outsider looking through the window, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they missed the target more than Ampadu probably.
Yes.
The transfer window, during the transfer exclusives, what we should consider is that we are in 2023. Nyonto has a contract to 2027. So right now, I don't see that as a possibility because in the end, with his agent, what happened with his agent too, try to force him to move. I think they'll try to do that again probably in January if he's playing well because of the Euros. Hopefully, because of the Euros, because I really like to go to Germany next summer to watch Italy, but we need to qualify first and foremost. But right now I think they'll try to, if we don't get promoted, to force a move next summer too. So I think the only way we can talk about probably contract extension, but it's still a long contract, 2027. It's next summer probably if we get promoted. I don't think we'll sign a new contract in this season, especially because we're in the championship, so the future is uncertain. And he has a contract in 2027, so it's also on the club side. He has a long contract. There's no need to rush it. Like what they're saying in Italy with this is a funny one because there some papers were saying that Napoli were in talks with Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian one, for a new contract, but he has a contract in 2026. So the official Napoli Twitter account released a press statement from the president saying about the reports we've read about the Millwall and that Napoli are in talks with the Kvaratskhelia agent for a contract renewal. We can confirm it is total bollocks. Officially like that, but it's total bollocks.
I love that said bollocks.
Yeah,
it's mad that we were close to signing him at one point as well, weren't it?
Yeah. Oh mate.
Andrea, what's bollocks in Italian?
Cazzate.
Cazzate.
Cazzate. That's I'm going to turn that into some sort of jingle on here somehow.
Cazzate.
Today on Cazzate News.
It's like the bad language slang, it's like when you say like fucking hell, something like that. It's like that in Italian. It's like
you can't say that.
Can't say that.
Fucking hell, Andrea, that's out of order.
Fucking hell, Andrea. Well, there's plenty of swearing on these anyway.
Yeah, lots of F-bombs on here. James is a potty mouth. Just
talk
quickly, just quickly before we go on to top knob. Paveda, Ian No Carlo Paveda has been in a bit of trouble for speeding. I think it was. James, was he driving away from you because you were chasing him so fast?
Yep.
Well, that's it.
I also Paveda, it's on the profile picture of Ash.
Yes.
If you've seen that with Red Dead Redemption, I don't know if you know the game. I finished that weeks ago. Really great game. I think one of the best I ever played. Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, with Arthur Morgan, Dutch Bundle, and all those characters, and he substituted the face of John Marston with the one saying Paveda Redemption.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that, Andrea, because Rockstar have just sponsored us. They just sent us a super chat. So thanks, Rockstar.
Thanks, Rockstar.
Coming soon. Not another Leeds podcast.
He did speak about Poveda today in the press conference, didn't he? Saying that he thinks Poveda can play in the 10. So he's still in his thoughts because he had a decent start, didn't he? So he's still around.
Yeah. There's only one certainty about this. If Poveda plays in the 10, Joe and Joe will argue again.
Yes.
Come to blows. They will come to blows, them two. Obviously, it's just banter between them two, but
yeah, absolutely. They're top friends. Yeah.
So,
Irish
as
friends.
everyone, football friends. So, as everyone knows, toward the end of this podcast, we have a segment called Top Knob. And what we do is we gather and nominate people who have been absolute knobs throughout the week, and we nominate them for this award. So, without further ado, it's Top Knob. And I've pressed the wrong button, and here it is.
Top Knob.
Without a hitch. So, Andrea, I will come to you first, my friend. You can have more than one nomination.
Okay.
Who's your knob or knobs of the week?
Knobs. They have to be, of course, known people, really. So
anyone you want, mate.
Yeah. Anyone.
Could be me.
Could be your next door neighbour if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that bee that keeps coming to your apartment. About that bee.
Yes.
No, it's been an uneventful week because of an international break. So really, the only thing I can think about is the role between Cellino and Radrizzani.
Yes.
Say what? Yeah. Shout.
Yeah.
Kev?
I'm going to agree. It's what do we call it? Chads, Radzino. I don't know. Like fucking Jennifer Radiston. Oh, forget it. Just them two.
Stop it, lads.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're making me ugly laugh. And I'm on camera. So stop it.
I'm going to go for Rads and Cellino as well. I 100% agree. It was Rads last week, and now it's Rads and Cellino. Next week it'll be Rads, Cellino, and Bates. So yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The Coke and Wine Cup. So, James, who are you going for?
I'm going for International Week. Hate it.
Just Europe. Or
Just international football as a whole. I'm really bored of it. I mean, I know England played well against Scotland and that, but I just like watching Leeds. So, international knobs.
Yeah, so thinking about it, honestly, I'm not against the player, but there's been some comments on Brendan Aronson free kick.
Oh yes!
Certain people, they also the official account of the US national team banned it like what a stunner. Like the ball went through the barrier, the wall, and the keeper was like there, like pushed by an invisible man.
Yeah,
and
Bradley Peacock Farrell was in goal.
Yes, Bailey Peacock Farrell in goal. Or Mr. Blobby, one of the two.
Hologram wrists.
Roberto Carlos-esque, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. We'll come on to this, and I feel like we're bullying Brendan Aronson here because he's just texting me saying, "Come on,
he needs it. He needs
to
toughen up."
Oh no! It's just the fans saying that it was a stunner. It's not a stunner. It's a horrible free kick.
It's terrible
for him that went in. You know,
honestly,
I got for him.
It's so.
He was so happy as well. He was so happy with
timing. This bad timing. Brendan's just texted me saying, "Come on, lads, leave me alone. It were a worldie. Let me have it." No, I feel like we're bullying, but
was he using a big phone as well?
He got his mum to do it because his buttons are too hard for him.
To do it, yeah.
So we'll talk about him in a second. I want to round this up. Okay. I will nominate. I'll give it to Rads and Cellino in the Coke and Wine Cup. So that means that Rads has got it twice in 3 weeks.
He's leading top knob trophy. Rads is leading.
He's top of the knobs.
Yeah, that's
top of the knobs. He is. Yeah. So that was this week's top knob.
Top knob.
Right.
Right. Who made that voice? Who made that voice?
Who did the voice?
It's me.
He was grabbing onto his nuts while he said it.
I put an elastic band around him.
Yeah.
So, just to pick on Brendan Aronson, right? That is the worst free kick I've ever seen someone score. I've seen more power in a flaccid penis hitting a tennis ball. I'll just say it was.
Whoa! We need to dive into this. What are you watching, mate?
That's between me and my therapist. It's just an analogy I used.
Okay.
But anyway, so towards the end of this podcast, we've got something called Ash's Question Corner, and
brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves, right? It's just to all of you. So he says, "What would you?" Right. So, what? It's been like it's like a hybrid. This one. It says, "So, what would you rather have? Would you have like itching powder all down your back, all over your body, or shoot your bum all the time?" That's to you, Andrea.
A what?
A what?
I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
A what?
Have you? Would you rather have shooty bum all the time, or itching powder? Shooty bum is where you feel a pain on your bum hole and it makes you go, ooh, you shoot up.
Okay.
Oh. Don't lie, everyone's had it. And itching powder all over your body.
Shooty bum.
Itching powder, it's like fire, like.
It's like it's powder. It makes you itch all the time.
Yeah, they call him Fuoco di Sant'Antonio here in Italy. Fire of Sant'Anthony.
Oof.
Yeah, probably that one.
You guys got great names for everything in Italy.
Yeah,
you've got Fire of St. Anthony. We've got Shooty Bomb.
No, not the Shooty Bomb. Not the Shooty Bomb.
I'm more
What's
shocked
your version?
That you've not heard of Shooty Bomb. I'm actually quite offended that you've not heard of it. I get it all the time. I'm in my 30s though, but
you
I
watch
get it all the
flaccid
time.
penises and tennis balls. No wonder, mate.
I never said whose.
Yes.
Yeah, probably that one because it doesn't hurt. At least you have to do just that, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for the itching powder because I don't know what Shooty Bum is, so I'm gonna stick with itching powder.
It'll happen one day, and you'll be like, "This is what Danny warned me about." James,
nice. I'll have both. I'll take them both.
Warrior, absolute warrior.
Take them both, yeah. Because one will like sort of like outpain the other, so I won't be able to concentrate on one of them too much.
I think I've hold on a minute. I've just lost 100 subscribers. Oh no! I need to make like a trigger warning before that. Don't I? I really do need to make that for Lord Ash.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Ash, for this week. And I'll take the Shooty Bomb. I'll double down. I'll take the Shooty Bomb.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for this week on episode 7. Andrea, thank you very much for bearing with us or gritting through the pain and putting up with us for just over an hour. Grazie mille. Kev, thanks for turning up on time. James, thanks for your 20 minutes, half an hour cameo.
How are you?
How many languages do you speak?
Say that again, mate.
How many languages do you speak? Because you said
barely one. Barely one language.
Barely English, mate.
I struggle with English. I speak a bit of Spanish, and I know.
Bueno.
Bueno, yeah.
Kinder Bueno.
Aprendiendo español.
Good, mate. Yeah, Kinder Bueno. That's all I know.
Anyway,
Shooty Bum.
Shooty Bum. I should have called. That's what I should have called it. International Men of Shooty Bum. Yes. Anyway, enough of Shooty Bum. And it's like spam. Oh my god, this episode. So we'll do that thing where we all wave and say goodbye. So thank you very much for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to the Leeds House podcast on YouTube and Spotify. And you'll find Andrea on with Joe and Lockie and all them. And for the visual viewers, is on Twitter is @Russo_16. And he's a wealth of football knowledge, and he's a really good guy too. So thanks very much, and we'll see you next week for episode 8. Bye.
Bye.
Waving.
Bye.